TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube family live on the Dave Cave. Hey, I just wanted to, this is Throwback Thursday. I just wanted to go back some way backs. One, I want to give honor to God, who's the head of my life, Lord Jesus Christ. My devotion, we were reading about Lamentations, basically crying out to God. If I got the context right, I want to say it was Jeremiah, and he was crying out for his people who were being persecuted or had been persecuted for the sins that they committed. And he was just like, hey, whatever that's happening to me, let it happen to them, for the people that were ruling him and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you just got to do that. You got to cry out to God and just say, Lord, hey, with me, I just say, don't do it without me, or say, Lord, give me strength, or, something simple like that. Well, in that whole family context, I can go back to one of the greatest whoopings, punishments that I ever got. So back in my day, we got whoopings and punishments. You got whooped because you did the act, but you got punished for doing the act. So some people that were, we used to call them well-to-do, they would get punishments only. I don't know that life, right? And side note, if you have kids, this might not be for them, but it don't bother me because I grew up on the premise of you was gonna get a whooping. That was going to happen. A punishment was extra added on to. But I was gonna say a lot of these youngsters can't handle that, whether they're young or in their 20s or whatever. They want life without anything happening in life. But I was taught differently, meaning you were going to get punished for what you had done. And so one of the greatest punishments I ever got was I was told to be home at a certain time, and be home obviously when the street lights got on. And I was trying to reason my mom. I think it was the summer, but it was right when the summer was kind of ending, so it wasn't getting dark at 9. It was getting dark a little earlier. And I got home, might have been right before we were going back to school, and I got home kind of late. And I said, Mom, it's the summer, chill, right? And she wasn't having that. And she said, I told you to be here. I told you to be here. And I said, well, Mom, where I was, the street lights weren't on yet. And she was like, oh, it wasn't. She said, but I go by this street light here. I lived on a busy street in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio. And, I had a street light right by my house. And I said, well, Mom, that's not reasonable, this thing. She said she had a big thing about, if I told you to do it, that's what I want you to do. And so that was embedded in my head, right? So, like I said, one of the greatest punishments was, she said, well, this is what we gonna do. Didn't whoop me because I was a little older, but she said, this is what we gonna do. 8:27, that's when that light went on. How do I know? Because I had to wait until I'm outside right now, right? I couldn't go outside that day. I had to wait until that street light came on. I had to have my watch. And when that thing came on, that's when she said, that's when you need to be home. And so, because she said, hey, it might be different there, but I go by what's here. And this is what I want you to be home. And all I'm saying, it programmed in my mind, like, it doesn't matter what happens to anybody else. It's what's happening to you. You've got to make you better. Like with me, when I was going through this pre-diabetes thing, it was about what I was eating. It wasn't about what my buddy was eating. It wasn't about what his workout plan was. It wasn't about even my wife and what she was doing. It's about what I was doing. So you got to do something for you to make sure you are doing better, right? So sometimes it seems like a punishment, but a lot of times it's to make you better, make you stronger, make you better than where you where you're going. And where you're going has got to be something that's worth going to, right? So that's why a lot of people don't understand, like, hey, my health. And they're like, well, no, you got to eat healthy now so you can be here, so you can celebrate the good times and all these kind of things with your children and that kind of stuff. So don't get discouraged. It seems like me, if you have sugar and the other stuff, let's say things that are used to, it rhymes with insane, but it starts with a C. If you got sugar and that product right beside each other, they did an experiment. Rats will go to the sugar before they go to that. That's how powerful sugar is. So that's how important it is for you to maintain or monitor what your intake is, so you don't have that much sugar. I know it's a big, long message, but I wanted to give you something that was worth putting your teeth into. So the punishment I had back then helped me be disciplined for today and for my better tomorrow. All right? Take care, live from the Dave Cave, and I'm out. Later.